And first at 5, a tragedy. I want you to look over here to the left of me. This mother and her son, 2 of 4 people, killed after a head-on collision last night in East Palatka. 4 others were also injured in that crash.
Oh, such a horrific accident. Now, since January of 2015, 132 crashes have been reported between the St. Johns River and State Road 207 on US 17. That stretch of road is only about 1.5 miles long. Now, those crashes resulted in 127 injuries involving more than 250 cars. So we begin with team coverage tonight.
First Coast News reporter Eric Alvarez joins us now with the latest. Eric.
Well, as you just said, that's what everyone's been talking about here in East Palatka. More than 130 crashes in just a 1.5 mile stretch of this road. The latest killed 4 people right here. Nearby is a makeshift memorial where family and friends have been stopping all day long.
That's my brother's daughter.
A relative only stops for a moment.
I drove here from Orlando. I'm not even from here, but I gotta come here and see what's up with my baby.
The next minute, she's gone, leaving behind a makeshift memorial that sits next to 2 tire marks that tell the story.
The blue Kia was traveling northbound on US 17 and for reasons still under investigation lost control. At that point they crossed the center median and went into the path of another vehicle, the large white SUV you see behind us.
2 adults and a baby boy who were inside the Kia died at the scene. A 4-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy were taken to the hospital. Monday afternoon, a heartbreaking update. As Florida Highway Patrol tweeted, the 4-year-old girl had died. FHP says this is the 133rd crash since January of 2015 in just a 1.5 mile stretch of US 17. That's over 1 each month. Dozens of injuries in only 1.5 miles. The latest.
This terrible tragedy
happened at an intersection where all day long drivers look for gaps in oncoming traffic to make U-turns. Witnesses told investigators they saw the Kia racing. Others said that wasn't the case. But at this point, it's still unclear exactly how the Kia ended up in the path of the SUV.
And our investigators can basically put the pieces of this puzzle together and find out exactly what happened in this terrible tragedy.
Now, 3 people from the white SUV were also taken to the hospital, I'm told, with non-life-threatening injuries. While investigators work to figure out exactly how this happened, the community is coming together. We're going to send it over to Lana Harris right now with a little bit more on that aspect of the story.
Yeah, Eric, I spoke with Sergeant Dylan Bryan last night. He's with the Florida Highway Patrol, and he says that this is a very close-knit community. You can see there's already a sign up saying our heartfelt prayers for our community. And I spoke with the female victim's grandmother earlier today. She identified her granddaughter as Derica Ward, and that the 2 to 3-year-old boy who was also killed was her son. It was Derica Ward's son. Grandma says that they called him Bojack. We should have some pictures up for you. We saw on Facebook. A lot of people on Facebook were identifying the 2 of them as well. Really heartbreaking situation. Just as Eric said, we know that there were 2 more victims, an adult male who died on scene, that 4-year-old who died this afternoon, and then of course there was that 15-year-old male who was also in the car. Sergeant Bryan says he only had non-life-threatening injuries. Now there is a vigil tonight. It'll be at 7 o'clock at the Booker Park Lefty Turner Field here in East Palatka. If you want to show the family any respects, that's where he'd go to do it, and we'll be there as well. Here in East Palatka, I'm Lana Harris, First Coast News on your side.